Guys, so I know I'm a bit late on this, and it has been news that has been going on for a while in the Star Wars community, and I've just been so busy I haven't had time to talk much about some new movie-related stuff on the channel, but something like this, for me, has to be talked about. And that is the news of January of last month. Kathleen Kennedy is leaving Lucasfilm and no longer going to be in charge of any more Star Wars projects in the future. Now, Star Wars Starfighters and The Mandalorian and Grogu are two upcoming projects, as well as a new Star Wars Darth Maul TV show are still going to be released, and they were made during her tenure. So in terms of Kathleen Kennedy produced projects, we still got some in the future, but after that it's just going to be Dave Filoni and his new business partner in charge of the Star Wars brand and Lucasfilm in general. And what are my thoughts on this news? I think it's for the best. Now, just to be clear here, I'm not someone who absolutely hates Kathleen Kennedy and makes hundreds of videos hating on this woman. I think as a film producer, her resume is legendary. Working with the great Steven Spielberg and George Lucas on many projects back in the 80s and 90s, she has been there for some of our biggest childhood films. Indiana Jones, Jurassic Park, you name it. This woman is an incredible film producer and knows how to get projects out there. As a CEO of a company, it kind of started strong, but after The Last Jedi, we start to see so many cracks form in Lucasfilm that it became too big to ignore. Now, when I say start strong, Force Awakens, which I did a review of and I still enjoy the film. Oh crap. That's not a good sign when you start. How this dropped is how far Kathleen Kennedy is going to drop. So, it starts strong with The Force Awakens, making $2 billion and is still the highest grossing film in America with over $900 million over here. No film in America as of now has been able to beat The Force Awakens record in that regard, and that is incredible. And I remember being hyped for The Force Awakens back then, going to see it with my sister in my local theater. It was such an exciting time for me. Then Rogue One came out, which still did pretty well for a spin-off film, still made $1 billion. I remember seeing that in IMAX with my entire family on Christmas. And for a while it seemed like the Star Wars brand was doing well. But then The Last Jedi came out, was so divisive. I really enjoyed it back then, but over time I will admit it did get worse for me in terms of rewatching it. I started seeing more of the problems. Solo somehow became the first Star Wars film to bomb, and the Rise of Skywalker, while it did manage to barely clear $1 billion, it was still beaten out by films like Joker that same year and was not even in the top 5 biggest films of 2019. A Star Wars film was not able to make it to the top 5 of the biggest films of that year, especially when it's marketed as the overall conclusion of the Skywalker saga. And the fact that the sequels started from $2 billion and ended at just a straight $1 billion, nearly, if at all, $1 billion loss from part 1 to 3. That is a really bad drop in my opinion. Yes, it made a profit, but they could have done more if there was a given plan, which there wasn't. It was clear that the directors were not correlating with each other, not talking to one another, planning it all out. There was just ideas being thrown at the wall, and that was it. And after Rise of Skywalker, Star Wars had just been stuck in TV limbo. Some shows were good, many shows were bad. The Mandalorian started off good with the first 2 seasons, but ended really poorly with its third. And I haven't even finished the third season. I didn't care for it that much. Book of Boba Fett, I enjoyed it at the time, but over time, the problems just got worse for me again, like with Last Jedi, Acolyte. Did not even bother watching that show. It looked really bad, and from what I heard, it did so poorly that they canceled season 2. The Clone Wars was at least received well, and a lot of the animated stuff, especially Star Wars Visions, was received well. At least some episodes received well, and some were not. Like, the animated stuff were doing fine, but live action wise, there are so many problems that it was unbelievable. Ahsoka, I heard very mixed things about. I only watched like a half of the season and then just dipped out because I just thought it was boring. I thought it was dull. Some of the flashback stuff was cool, but overall, these shows started to lose my engagement. And I wasn't really caring for them all that much. I heard something like Skeleton Crew was good, so I might give it a shot. The new Starfire movie looked cool, so hopefully this is a sign of good things to come, because in between these 2 projects is a little show called Andor. And if you saw my review for Andor Season 1 and 2, you would know that I absolutely love this show. To me, out of anything Kathleen Kennedy has produced in Star Wars, this has been the best project so far. The characters are rich. The world building of the Star Wars universe is so intense and interesting. Seeing how the Galactic Empire manipulates everyone, including each other, in order to gain favor and reach higher ranks. It made the Empire feel scary. It made you feel tense up whenever a director or someone in charge of something in the Empire is onto one of our main characters and is trying to catch them. And just overall, I'm not going to say much anymore. Just watch my reviews or just go watch the show itself. It is absolutely incredible. But apart from that, I think that's the only thing I really loved. Obi-Wan Kenobi was alright, but it would have worked better as a film in my opinion. Outside of Star Wars, there was a Willow show, which I did not watch because I didn't care for Willow as a franchise overall, but I did not hear good things about that show. And Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny. In my opinion, the worst Indiana Jones film. Like, a really bad send-off to the character in my opinion, and was extremely disappointed with the results of that. And I had hope for it because I love James Mangold as a director, and I thought he would revitalize the franchise in a big way, like how he did with Logan and the X-Men, but it felt passionless. It felt studio made. It didn't feel like James Mangold's artistic vision. It just felt like James Mangold on autopilot doing what the studio wanted. So overall, a lot of passionless projects. There's some good stuff she has made under her tenure, no doubt about it. And the sequels of Star Wars did start out strong, but as the years went on, you start seeing more and more passionless projects, either really bad or just mediocre with some positive elements, but nothing to write home about. And I hope that Mandalorian and Grogu and Starfires are really good send-offs to her career as a CEO in Lucasfilm. I hope those projects are good, because I just want Star Wars to be good again. And it sucks that Star Wars has been stuck in TV limbo without film for so many years. There has been planned movies also, like Rogue Squadron with Patty Jenkins, but after Wonder Woman 1984, that got canned. Rian Johnson's trilogy got canned because of the divisive opinions of not Rise Skywalker, Last Jedi. Taika Waititi was going to make a film. That got canned. Contra Vero was fired from Rise of Skywalker, which I'm mixed on now. I was more disappointed back then, but now I'm mixed on because of the results of Jurassic World Dominion. But from what I read from the script, it does sound a lot more interesting than what we got. But there have been so many film projects and ideas that just came and went because Kathleen Kennedy cannot stick with a director and just let them do their thing. Half the time she does let them, or other times she just controls the scene. And then most of the time she just fires them or cancels projects that she announced like months ago. That Rey Skywalker movie, I doubt that's gonna happen now. That's been like announced 2 years ago since, and nothing much has came out of that announcement. So doubt that's gonna happen. It just, when you have a planless company that has no idea what they're doing and just throwing things at the wall, there's no chance for a real sense of creativity in that company. There's no way of knowing what's going to happen next. What can we look forward to? Because things can be taken away or not be followed up on. The closest thing we got right now to an overall overarching story is the Mandoverse, I guess, but that's about to end soon, and I doubt much is going to come out from Mandalorian Grogu. Yeah, I think in terms of her tenure, I think it's best that she leaves because she had no plan in the beginning and just did not know how to stay in touch with her directors, come to an agreement most of the time. Most of the projects end up being disappointing. Overall, I am glad that she is gone because she could go back to doing what she's really good at, which is producing movies. I really love her as a producer, not as a CEO. Strong start, but really mediocre performance over the years, and it really divided the fan base of Star Wars and Lucasfilm in general. And when you have such a divisive atmosphere in your company, I think that is the first sign of failure. Once she made everyone divided in the fan base and her company, I think it's time for her to go. That is my opinion. Overall, these are my thoughts on Kathleen Kennedy leaving Lucasfilm. I think it's for the best. Let me know what you guys think. Are you happy with her gone? Are you sad? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time.